Geez, I gotta admit, I like summer. Here it is, what, the 15th of June, 9 o'clock at night, and I'm still out working on the trailer here. I just welded this piece in. It's just actually a cut off from the front. This piece was shagged. You've probably seen it in previous videos. It was basically missing. So yeah, MIG welded it in with the 30 thou flux core there, and got her pretty well solid spot welded there. I also filled a few of these holes. This was from back in the old days in the mid 80s. Zip disc, what was that? Never heard of it. Didn't even own a hand grinder. So to separate this piece, I drilled holes, a series of holes in it. So I was filling some of the holes there. I don't know why I had some so far out of line, but anyway, that's how I cut stuff apart, was with a drill bit, turning it into a zipper basically. So zip discs have definitely speeded things up for sure. But so it's continuing to come along. I actually found a pretty much full can of paint for my 72 Charger there. Was it AP 181 or something? I can't remember. But it didn't spray out. It kind of came out in droplets. So I figured, you know, what the heck, might as well use it up. So I painted this area, and I also painted the inside of the tailgate just to stop it from being a mirror. It's not completely covered, but I figured it was good enough for my purposes. So then I'll go over the top of all of this with the electric blue. I'm going to try to prime this side gray first, so that it hopefully turns out a little better than this side where I didn't prime it. And it's got, you know, light spots showing through because it's not a constant color. Still got a little more body work to do here, and here it's rusting through, so a little more body work, but it's getting there. So spent a lot of man hours on it, that's for sure. But it's the only 1950s vehicle I own, probably ever will, so I guess it's worth it. Well, I decided to remove the spare tire off it there, and in the process, the bottom bolt broke off. So it always was a little too short. The tire was pushed against the bottom of it into the sidewall. So it appears that from the holes that somebody modified it once already. But so I added 1/2 inch to the length of it. Up here, maybe you can see it. But so I had to cut it off, and then cut the nut off and weld a new nut on, and go with it like that. I figured while I was at it, I would this thing has some tie down issues, so I took a piece of 2-inch channel and slid it down the middle. This thing's some weird, like 2 3/4 inch dimension. It's bent steel, so I welded the two together and drilled a 1/2 inch hole in it. My purpose, eventually I intend to cut this down lower, but so now I can just hook a tie strap into there and she'll be good and solid. I used to just go around the tongue that did the same thing, but I figured this might be a little bit simpler while I was, you know, welding in this same area here. So unfortunately I couldn't weld the inside of it. I managed to on the sides, but not in the center, so I laid lots of weld on it there, and welded this up as best I could. It's just holding the tire, but I groove the welds in, or bevel them, and try to get, you know, as close to full penetration as I can to make it, you know, make it as strong as I can while I'm at it. And same thing with these mounts here. I welded a piece of stainless in here, and this one the floor started popping holes in, so I put another piece in there. But the original tie downs I had would hook on the outside like this up and over the trailer, but it kept bending the trailer wall and stuff. So this time they're getting mounted on the inside, and I've tested them. They work. so you can get the hook or the tie down around it. So, and this you know, it's like double thickness of the original wall, plus it's welded to the floor, so she should be all good. Added a couple little braces there, and did a little patchwork on this corner here so that it's more or less continuous welded. So it's getting there. I intend on turning this side blue here soon. Might rain tomorrow, so I can't guarantee it'll be then. But then, of course, I'm still looking at my pod tail lights there. I'll maybe make something up to show you what I'm talking about. So, still working on the trailer here, but got about 150 miles on it now. Got my new tires on it there, and took it for a haul. But I've been mentioning the pod tail lights I wanted to make for it, and happened to be at a dollar store and found these plastic glasses there, and did a quick measurement. They're actually larger than I needed, so I had to cut it back. They act like they're made out of plexiglass, the way it cuts and melts and stuff. But I'm still doing some fine tuning on the shape of the front there. But then of course I'll paint them. But I had to do quite a bit of notching around the support post there. But anyway, that's what I have in mind when I say a pod tail light. It's like an aerodynamic front end on it there, and it sits up on its own little pod. If you ever look up 61 Plymouth tail lights or 62 Imperial, they're kind of a similar concept. I kind of like them. This is close as I could come on something like this. So I think I'll probably paint it silver, and I'm leaning towards, it's already got a hole in the center, so I'm leaning towards a bolt on the front, just a round head bolt that'll screw into, I guess I'll try to have a nylock nut welded in there or something. That'll be a little tricky to do, but there'll be I want a positive other than just like silicone sealing it on. I want a more positive lock. I wouldn't want this thing come flying off, hit the car behind me or something, you know. So anyway, since it's a 50s trailer, I think the pod type tail lights will match its overall shape there. So anyway, continue on here and get these guys finished off. Well, I got the first pod tail light installed on the trailer. Doesn't look too bad. Show up much against that background, does it? So, anyway, now I just gotta fix the other side, get it looking the same. So I've got both tail lights mounted on it now. I'm just in the process of trying to paint this side. You can see how it's a different color blue when you first put it on. It's like a lighter blue. It's like just one layer thick, and then it turns darker as you get more layers on it. So I'm trying to get it get all painted up here so it doesn't look so spotty. But it takes a while to do all this. I got my new tire all masked there, so because the tires seem to like to attract paint. At least that's been my experience. Well, there, got both tail lights on. Just painted the inside of it black there so it doesn't look so bad being a rust color. This side here needs another coat of paint at the front, but there's only so much you can do in one day, so anyway, I think the tail lights suited okay there. Looking a whole lot better than it did a month ago, that's for sure.